Is Jalen Hurts getting any better? And have we found ourselves an offensive identity that can work for the long term? Great questions. Let's get into it, guys. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off of this topic, guys. It's pretty obvious that we're talking about progressing a game-managing quarterback and how that works. To me, this is kind of a weird topic just because most quarterbacks, when I was younger, they kind of started off as game managers. Case in point being Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb had a lot of natural athletic abilities, but he still needed to progress as a passer who could read defenses and manipulate coverages. And to be honest with you, until we had some rule changes that occurred after following the 2003 season and the subsequent signing of guys like Terrell Owens, we were mostly a run-centered offense the first few years that Donovan McNabb was in the league, to be honest. Now, football's changed a lot because of systems advancing and the way that guys like Sean Payton have used players like, Drew Brees to Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. I mean, it just kind of, Patrick Mahomes coming out the last couple of years, things have kind of advanced in a different direction. In saying that, guys, let's get into the heart and soul of the discussion, which is, can you win football games if your quarterback's barely thrown 20 passes? To start with, let's just be honest, the last two games, we haven't thrown 20 passes. And to me, I think this is a multi-sided or multifaceted conversation. Because on one hand, show me the creativity of the coaching staff, right? The Ravens have struggled when they got into the playoffs to complete passes. It's not that they haven't had opportunities to win playoff games, even with a run-centered offense with Lamar Jackson. They just couldn't execute on their opportunities through the passing game. And to me, that's what really tells the story, right? Which is, okay, you have, on average, we'll just say the average, they have 20 to 25 attempts a game, right? Well, how well do you execute the 20 to 25 passing attempts? Can it keep an offense honest, right? It's the inverse of the running game. If you only run the ball 20 to 25 times, how effective are you at running the ball, and how honest can you keep the defense as a result of that? You're just reversing the roles, really. Now, what I will say is name me the core component players of the Eagles offense. I think that has a lot to do with things, guys. Who are the core component players in the Eagles offense? I can only think of three. The quarterback, Jalen Hurts, the top 10 pick we have at wide receiver in Devontae Smith, and the tight end that's probably going to get a major contract in the offseason in Dallas Goedert. Past that, guys, I would judge everybody else to be mostly complimentary. These are complimentary football players, right? If I go to the Chargers, it's pretty easy to identify. They have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, and then they have their quarterback, Justin Herbert. That's their core. Then they have their complementary players, right? The Jared Cooks of the world and the Parhams at tight end. They have the Guyton, the deep, fast threat guy at wide receiver. They have Palmer, another bigger, physical, stronger guy that can get down the field and make catches. You look at the Eagles, guys, I see a lot of complementary pieces. I'm not too sure we have that last core player we need. Jalen Reagor was supposed to be that guy. We spent a first-round pick on him. He hasn't learned how to release off the line of scrimmage yet enough to beat NFL coverages. I'm not saying it'll never happen, guys. Please don't think that I'm just dumping on him. I'm just saying so far it has not happened. He's more of a complementary piece than he is a core piece of the offense. Miles Sanders, I think, has the talent as a former second-round pick, to be one of those core components to the offense. I question his health, guys. He's always injured. He's always had some of these weird, nagging, lingering type injuries that seem to shorten what is otherwise pretty effective seasons for him. He wasn't utilized very heavy this year, and that has nothing to do with Miles. That was all about the game plan and the install of the offense that went way too far one way. But past that, guys, I see nothing but complementary players, right? I really like Jack Stahl. He's a complementary blocking tight end, right? That can maybe catch a few small little balls, screen stuff, maybe some stuff, short field stuff. I really, really feel that the front office and the coaching staff does see something in Tyree Jackson, and I hope that guy becomes a pretty good complementary piece. Still a projection at this point. Quez Watkins, I think Quez Watkins is showing you this season alone he's a complementary piece. I don't know if he can ever be more than a complementary piece, guys. He's got to learn a little bit more about route running and setting up coverages. He's not quite there yet, but he's showing tremendous progress for a 6th-round pick. We already talked about Jalen Reagor, guys. He should be there. The talent's there. It's not a lack of talent with Jalen Reagor. something's got to happen here, man. He's got to start winning off the line of scrimmage. He's too good of a player to not even be a really a guy that you look to as a complimentary piece at this point. Like, he's more of a gadget than even complimentary, I would say. I mean, we got to do something with it. It's not okay. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it now for the 999th time again. Player development is an issue in Philadelphia, guys. That's part of the problem when we talk about offensive identity and can we win with a quarterback that only throws the ball 20 to 25 times a game. Can you develop the wide receivers? Can we have anyone besides Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert that can be dependent upon to be where they're supposed to be in the route progression, right? Can we develop a young quarterback to make sure that he's getting his depth right and syncing his footwork up to the routes of the receivers so that way he can throw with a little anticipation, a little timing, and beat defense and beat coverage? Can we progress this young man to read coverage better? Can we do those things? Like, I will say, there was a moment in last week's game in the fourth quarter, the last time Jalen Hurts had the football. Man, it felt like there was chemistry between him and Devontae Smith. It felt like some of those pieces felt like they might have been clicking. I don't know what to make of one series and one football game, guys. I'm not trying to convince you that means that everything is fixed and everything. I'm not saying that, guys. I'm saying that it was a bright moment that I really hope to see replicated going forward because that's a big core piece of it, right? I'll also say that on the scramble drill stuff, and I don't feel like getting into the whole aspect of is he leaving the pocket early. I think it's a completely separate video we need to get into with film to support what we're saying. Nonetheless, when the pocket broke down and he eluded the rush and he was extending a play, I really like the way that he finds guys like Dallas Goedert. Like, him and Dallas Goedert do have somewhat of a connection on those type of plays. Can we build this identity going forward? I don't know. Can one of these... I think we have a very talented running back group, but can one of these running backs become a core player, right? Can Miles Sanders become a core player? Can Kenneth Gainwell become the core player? And then do you have the complementary pieces? So Jordan Howard, does he stick around for another year or two as a complementary piece, as a, kind of physical, between the tackles style runner who can give you those short yardage goal lines and really tough pass pro? Or Kenneth Gainwell, if he doesn't become a core piece, can he be a complementary receiving piece like a Nyheim Hines is for the Indianapolis Colts? Those are the questions that have to be answered, guys. I think we kind of are expanded upon an identity. I don't know if I can trust it going forward, though. Even to this day, we had 2 successive games of running the football, right? Over 25 attempts running the ball between our running backs. There's still a deep, dark part of me, guys, that does not trust this is going to keep continuing going forward. And I'm not talking about upper 30s, lower 40s in terms of how often we run the football. I'll take 25 a game. If we can at least have 25 runs a game, I'll take it. Sometimes this talk about, can we build an offensive identity around this? Have we completely forsaken the other offensive identity we were attempting to build but never got there with? I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest with you. I need to see more than 2 games to fully make my mind up there. But anyways, I'm done with the rant, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think? How do you build this? What do you think about the complementary pieces compared to the core pieces I talked about? Who's your third skill position core player right now? Or do you think he's not on the team? You think he's going to be a free agent signing or draft pick? You look at it from the offensive perspective. Who's that third core player? And who do you identify as, okay, this is a complementary piece. This is more of a gadget piece. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and attention, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next video.